Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. My grandma still pegs me for that because one day, one of those years, I went back home and she sold me with my earrings and everything on. She's like, "Oh, hey, I didn't know I had a granddaughter
Oh yeah. Yeah.
visiting me. So wait, let me take out my old dresses and give it to my new granddaughter that's visiting me today. Oh, would you like some makeup too? Oh man, she picked on me all the way through, but
That's
I
funny.
follow along
Yeah.
and she was so great and fun that those times. But yeah, it was great. Those were somewhat great times. Broke, but great times indeed.
Yeah. It's so awesome interacting with different generations. I've just been thinking so tomorrow's episode is Jerry Weinberg again. And then I talked to Tom Gilb, who is another old timer. And yeah, those guys are just so, man.
Yeah,
You just dripping with so many lessons learned and all and different ways of looking at things, and it's so cool, talking to whether it's programmers like those guys, or just your grandma, like you said,
yeah,
and
yeah.
even when it's making fun of you, it's fun, and just, yeah,
Yeah,
every generation, man, all ages. It's so good that we
yeah.
get to interact with people who've been there, and people coming behind us too.
Yeah. Yeah, no, she's definitely from a different generation, different age, different world, really. And I just don't mean that in a sense of, when she wasn't around. I mean, from what I know, her story is very interesting. Um, she was, as far as I know, right? I mean, I don't know the whole story, but she just has such a great, rich background that, just the story that counts. Sometimes real life is way more interesting than fiction. Like, you can't make stuff up like this. And it's like, damn, just like this person has a story. I wonder the person next to me, what story do they have? And I
Yeah.
think that's one of the things that always has intrigued me because you always learn something out of them. And then after a while, you see the same repeated patterns. And then you're like, wait a minute, this person said it. They were not even in the same part of the world. This other person said it, and they live in a different part of the world. It's like if those two things have something in common, that means that it's a common problem, and it's a common challenge. And maybe when I come up against the challenge or problem, I should probably try what they did or try something different. Uh, so it's just that wisdom, man, that you can't get anywhere else.
Yep.
Yeah,
The easiest way in the world for you to learn something is through your own experience, but the truly exceptional person learns from somebody else's experience.
yeah, yeah. At least try to, because even then, we set out to prove them wrong or to prove them otherwise, and that's
Yeah.
when it's like, oh crap, that person was right all
Yeah.
along, all these years, and I set out to prove them wrong.
They
So
knew
it's
something
one of those
after
things.
all.
Yeah, they knew something after they were warning me rather than telling me not to do something. They were warning me, hey, you're going down this path. The bridge is out. Make sure that you're prepared for that step of the way when you reach the point, and when you're ready to cross it, make sure you have a plan. Otherwise, you're gonna have a tough time. Yeah, it's just a lot of things. I've been kind of thinking about that too because now I'm becoming the old man in the team.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm starting to become the old, like you were saying, right, with the new interviews that you're gonna have, that they have so much knowledge and wisdom, right, and their experiences. But just think about where that wisdom or knowledge comes from. That's come from experiences, from
Yeah.
wins and failures, right?
No
And
doubt.
I find myself talking like that more and more often to the other developers. So they're slightly younger than I am, but it's
Yeah.
like, what the hell? When did I become the old man in the team, sharing my experience and wisdom, and actually people listening to me like, oh crap, I become that dude in that team.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
okay though. It's okay. I like it. I don't mind, and I'm sure they're gonna share theirs when the time comes.
Yeah, yeah. It doesn't seem like that long ago that I was the promising young kid, It's
Yep. Yep.
but
The new talent, the new the new it guy in the team, the what is it called? I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. I don't
yeah,
want to talk
yeah.
about it anymore.
Like the golden boy,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Like this is this guy, Dave. He's gonna be, he's gonna take. our code to the next level. He's gonna bring new ideas. He has this passion, this fire, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nah, I'm not that guy anymore. I'm just the rugged veteran now that can get shit done, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I have come to embrace that. I'm like, you know what? And as you already probably figured this out too, there's gonna be somebody better, faster, smarter, and all that good stuff. And you have to be okay with that. And then that's when you play your strengths as opposed to wishing to have what the other person has.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
it's all good though. I'm not I don't pressure myself as much as I used to in that regard anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and when I look at it too now, it's, I've spent a lot of, cycles thinking about how I haven't accomplished the things that I thought I would. But when I think about it, I haven't really tried. I mean, it was always about get better at coding and good things are going to come. And the didn't do the marketing, piece that it would have taken to doing that now, right?
Mhm.
But becoming a more well-rounded human being. And
Mhm. Yeah, and I hear you on that, Dave. I mean, I think anyone who has come across John's work,
yeah,
or any of those, uh, like or Eric's work, right? That that we can be the best coders, the best developers, and whatnot. But as they found out, that's not how you move on. I think you and I have we try our best to be the best coder, to be the best, know the best practices, the best patterns, be the best, probably the best developer in the team, right? But we figure out, or we have reached a point where we find out like that's, that also has a limit, right?
yeah, yeah,
And we didn't drink the Kool-Aid like the idealists in Eric's book, right? Where some other fellow developers are still drinking that Kool-Aid of what is it? Of what's the best for the company, and not just best for the
yeah. The
company,
idealists.
the idealist, but also the other one. Because I have talked to developers, and they're not idealists for the sake of the company, because they say I don't work for the company, I work for my craft, right? But that's also another trap
Yeah,
that talks about the journeyman idealist who is whose belief shifts to the Kool-Aid of the craft.
yeah, yeah,
And as you can, I mean, I don't know about you, but I've seen and talked to many developers. They're like, I don't care about the company. I care about my craft. I want to be the best developer. And that's where we start drinking the meritocracy Kool-Aid.
yeah,
And you know where that goes. I mean, I think you and I um, have decided to break away and try something different. And I think that's a good thing. As a CL developer, just like I gotta be the best developer, I gotta learn the best language, the newest, bestest JavaScript framework, and people are gonna pay me tons of money for it, and blah blah. And like I was telling one of my fellow coworkers, uh, I was like, dude, I'll be honest with you, I have not improved my technical skills in the last 2 years, like like very much, like maybe a sliver of what I used to know, 2 years ago. But my marketing and my other soft skills, as you call them, dude, they have been exponentially improved, and that's what has gotten me way farther down the line
yeah.
than any of my technical skills has ever put me.
No question.
So yeah, so I was like, hey man, uh, I'm, I didn't believe this back many years ago, but connections, knowing people, knowing how to market yourself goes way more than any technical, I don't know how to solve an algorithm sort trick crap off the top of your head gets you.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, so,
yeah. And that's programmers don't realize it, man. I was talking to a guy this morning. I did an interview at 5:30 this morning because
oh my god.
he's in Tokyo, right? So
Oh.
that was
Uh,
scheduled that. It's his evening, right? And it was my morning,
mhm,
but it was cool.
mhm,
And he's a businessman, right? He's a founder of a business, and he's running the thing, and he's in Tokyo, creating their Japan branch,
mhm,
currently. And that's what he talked about, was that the passion for being a coder, that we don't realize that that's not where it's at. That's not the ultimate thing. And when you say, you haven't really significantly improved your technical skills in the last 2 years, I guess I'm the same, right? I mean, I still would say that I use Visual Studio better than anybody I've ever known, right?
Mhm.
And I know C sharp. I could say better than anybody I know, but I guess now that I've talked to people like John Steele and Matt Torgerson, that's not true. But
Be careful what you say, man.
yeah, yeah. But
I,
so I mean, still, I can do all those things. But what's the latest and greatest? The Vue.js and the Elms and the Elixirs and all of the hot things that are just rocking. Yeah, I'm not there.
I agree. I mean, I try to keep up, right? Don't get me wrong. That does not mean that I haven't tried. It just means that uh, there's a limited amount of time and there's so much out there to learn, right? And what I have vouched for has been actually two things. I one is the marketing and continue to network and whatnot, right? And also my running. Actually, I've been pretty impressed that I've been able to keep it up for these actually now 2 years, more than 2 years, and I've been working on that pretty hard, but also having fun at the same time,
Yeah,
without too much pressure or too much. Um Passion for it, I guess. Like sometimes we get to, and I've been thinking lately on the very blur lines, the gray area rather, not even a line of when you're passionate and when you're obsessive.
mm.
It's not
Yeah.
even it's not even a thin line, dude. It's just like a whole bunch of gray
It's a
between ones.
continuum. Yeah,
Yeah, it's that's what I've been thinking. Like, okay, lately, like, okay, so how do I distinguish passion versus, obsession?
yeah.
Hell, even addiction. It can
Addiction.
get,
Yeah,
yeah, it can go to all the way of the spectrum, right? So and I mean, it's good up to a certain point. I mean, when you are debugging something, it becomes really good, right? Like you are really focused and really like now I don't want to say passionate about fixing the bug, but very like committed, right?
yeah,
To
yeah.
fix it or to get something working. So that's when it comes good. But then how about when you get obsessed and you say working at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock
Yeah,
in the morning, when you didn't really have to? It was more because you felt like you had to do it. You get what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
And like, okay, so what's the healthy habit then? What's the healthy balance in the regard that when our passion becomes addiction?
Balance is hard. It's
It
hard.
is.
Yeah.
So I guess I don't know. I guess I don't know if any of the guests have talked about that.
Scott Hanselman really emphasized balance, right? I
Mhm.
don't think it was really in that same context, and it didn't go toward addiction and obsession. I don't recall anybody saying obsession. I don't think
Is it because we're trying to ignore something like that?
it might be. Maybe. Yeah.
Like we're trying to prove something to ourselves or to others, and sometimes we mistake passion for obsession, even
Oh
addiction.
yeah, yeah. You know what? Avdi Grimm is the episode about
Yeah,
that. I mean, different, but he was the one that really pushed back on this. You must be passionate about your company. You must be passionate
yeah,
about your job. That stuff. About tech and all that stuff.
yeah,
That was an awesome episode. He
yeah.
was.
It was. I listened to it more than once already, and that's what
Yeah,
kind of struck all these questions about passion.
yeah,
And it struck me of actually questioning my own things about what am I really passionate about,
yeah,
you know?
yeah,
So and then I start to get the distinction between passion and obsession all the way to addiction.
yeah,
Uh, it's just kind of trying to make the distinctions, not sequentially or in order, but most like, okay, so when does it become one? When do we start to lie to ourselves that it becomes more than just a passion?
yeah.
Because interacting with a lot of fellow developers, sometimes we need boundaries, man.
It's
We
true.
need we need some sort of like, hey, dude, stop here. You're
Yeah,
becoming a little obsessive, So We just need this. We don't need that. Yes, that's great. But then comes also when it comes to over architecture and stuff,
Yeah.
overcomplicating stuff, right?
That's why test-driven development is good, right?
Mhm.
You give yourself a stopping point rather than just, keep going.
Right. So, like once again, like I said, over engineering, over architecturing, all this stuff, right? Like, when do we come, we as developers, right? When does the person, not the developer, well, we as the person becomes and stops and says, am I really contributing? Not just the contributing, am I really having any value?
Yeah.
Or is it just my hubris?
Yeah.
I know that has been another theme in the Facebook
Yeah.
group.
Yeah.
When
It's
does,
Ted Neward's word too. Yeah.
yeah, hubris, right? Like, when does it become that? When do we like? And I don't think it's like, oh, here it is, it's a stopping point. I'm gonna stop. I'm not gonna go further. It's just like I said, it's a gray line, man, between one and the other. It's like, okay, great. I'm becoming a little bit too much of this now. Let's go back a little more to the side.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just I've been questioning myself a lot lately on those things. Like, man, if I had been a little bit less obsessive about certain things, certain technologies, certain ways, certain views, certain languages, maybe I would have helped. It would have helped me see in people's perspective.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a feedback control system,
Yeah, yeah.
climate control it's so cool. I
Mhm.
love the idea of the output of the system is input to the system, right? The idea that you are using the thermostat to measure the temperature, and
Mhm.
based on whatever temperature it is, you're going to take action to adjust the temperature.
Yeah,
And that's I think our loop is not tight enough, right? The balance gets way out of whack before we notice it, and we're not, the way the thermostat is continually checking
mhm.
and firing up the heat or the cool. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, the pendulum swings.
yeah. It's and like I said, I'm just trying to reflect like a lot of the things um, that have happened across my career and meeting different people, different developers and whatnot. I'm like, all right, now I have troublesome path. Let's look back into it and see what happens. And listening to once again all this also podcasts and different people, I'm like, wait a minute. So first of all, I'm not that unique. Okay, great. It's a good thing, I guess. Well, I'm just another mad person in a mad world. Great. That makes me feel better.
Yeah.
Uh, but what can we do? What now? You know? Um, and also just thinking now, like I said, have become the old man in the group. And now this I hate to call them kids, but all right, these younger developers kind of like actually pay attention a little bit to what I have to say, right? How much of it, I don't know, but it's a total different change from when I first started, when I went into people actually to even listen to me, and nobody gave a crap because, what do you know is that you're a junior guy, get out of
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. You're
And
the kid.
now, yeah, you're the kid in the group, like we were saying, the new golden boy that everybody's pretty jealous of because, they're not the it guy anymore. So now there's another it guy.
Yeah.
Uh, um, I've been both sides of the fences, so I know exactly how it is now.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. But it's strange to acknowledge that, right? I'm an old guy now.
yeah,
It's kind of weird.
yeah, but I think that becomes the better, and it becomes better when we kind of embrace it, like
Yeah.
accept it, and just move on. Um, but man, sometimes some of us are just stubborn as hell. Once again, hubris, right? Comes into
Yeah.
play, the ego.
Yeah. Yeah. I know what has worked for me over the years, and you're going to tell me that something else is going to work better. Yeah, there's resistance to that.
It's always going to be resistance to that. I mean, once again, I faced it. I have been both. Now I have been both sides of the fences, right?
Yeah.
And it sucks to be either one. um, um, but yeah, I don't know where I was going with this. I'm sorry, I lost my chain of thought there.
Oh, that's all right, man. That's all right. So, yeah, you've been in the Facebook group, right?
Yeah,
I got to take better care of myself, man. Your
what's up?
your running habit is rocking, right? And that's great. But man, I've been eating terribly for a long time, and so I put that in there. I'm probably about a week 10 days or so into that, I said, hey, I'm going
Oh
hardcore on my
yeah.
diet for 30 days. So
How's that going?
getting better, man. Getting better. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's getting easier too, right? I mean,
Mhm.
the food cravings are they're backing off a little bit. It's getting I'm starting to settle into it, so it's good.
Okay.
So yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, once again, actually, this whole running thing, right? To be honest with you, Dave, at this point, I don't even think about it. It's just that I've been doing it for so long that my body asks for it.
Mm,
Like
yeah.
my schedule is simple. It's run every other day. That's it. You know, like I ran yesterday, so today no run. Tomorrow is a run, regardless if it's a holiday. If it's Christmas, I run it. If it's New Year's Eve, I run it.
Yeah.
The day to
Yeah.
go, go time. That's basically it. Once again, trying to not overcomplicate something because if I say, oh, this specific schedule, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or whatever, I'll go and then take off. No, just every other day. Keep it simple, right? As possible. The
Yeah.
KISS principle. The
Have
KISS.
have you read Scott Adams' book? I haven't read it, but
No.
it keeps getting mentioned a lot. Corey House and Sean
Which one?
talked quite a bit about it's the title is something like how to fail at almost everything and still win big, or something along those lines. I'm
I have
probably not
not.
quite on it, but the gist of at least one of the things that he puts in there that both Corey and Sean were talking about is don't have goals, have systems, right?
My friend, you're talking to the goalless man here.
Yeah.
The goalless. And I'll take it a step further. And I mentioned this book I think already before about the master book.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
He's
yeah,
I don't once again I have not read this book that you mentioned, but I have read that one. And that was one of those key principles, man. Be goalless. Do not set a goal. I mean, it goes more deep detail, right?
yeah,
That the key to anything is practice.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
That's it.
ultimately, a lot of things are out of your control, right? A
Right.
lot of a lot of the result is not something you directly decide that's going to be, but you can decide what you do about it, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
So I know exactly, and I think I know it's a great thing that I read that book right before I started running, like seriously. Well, I wouldn't say seriously, but more, more often. Um, was because otherwise I would have set this goal, right? Of let me run a 5K, and then I probably would like, okay, well I did my 5K, goal. I'm done running. Okay, bye, and then move on to the next thing, right? But I did not want to take that into account. I just want to say, you know what? Let me just run. How fast I can go today, we'll see.
mm,
That's it. No more, no less. And eventually, um, as you continuously practice anything, you get better and better at it. Even if it's a small increment, even if you don't see substantial increases yourself, you will notice that eventually you're just gonna get better. In this case, running for me, I started and I wrote about this extensively and continue to write about it because this has been working for me. I started doing a mile, dude, in the treadmill. I was gassing out each time. And then I graduated to 1.5. And then I ran outside 2 miles. 2 miles for a long time. And then I decided to go a block further, and then another block, and another block. And I was increasing my speed, my stamina, and my endurance without even noticing, without even trying.
mm,
And then, hey, one day I was doing 3, then 4, then I did 5. Then one crazy day I did 7. And until lately, 2 weeks ago or a few weeks ago, I did my first half marathon distance.
mm. Yeah, I like that.
But it has been a working process, right? It has been, like I said, from then to now has been 2 years. Okay, it's easy to say, but because the highlights, right? But there has been a lot of downsides. Sometimes when I didn't want to go, sometimes when it sucked, sometimes when I was like, "What the hell am I doing here, man?"
Yeah,
So
it's a commitment.
uh, I didn't even want to use that word, man, because so psychologically for me, it's just like, dude, just go, regardless of anything. Just get out there, do your 3 or whatever you want to do. Go do your lap, come back home. That's it. And then when you just notice it, you're just gonna improve your freaking stamina and your distance, and that's what I've done. And I can tell you, man, that works, and it can be applied to anything.
Yeah.
So if somebody's watching this, oh, you're recording it, right? Cool.
Yeah, I was going to mention that to you that I went ahead and hit the button
That's fine.
to put this out there. Yeah.
I haven't said anything obscene, hopefully. But what I'm saying is you can apply this to anything. For example, you can apply this to your dieting, right?
Hmm.
To eat, you know, change something. You can start by eating less of something that you preferably like to eat. For example, I love to eat bacon. So maybe instead of having two strips of bacon, I'm lower it to one. Okay. And then maybe I try turkey bacon. Oh my God. Somebody listening to this is gonna
Dude,
kill me. I know, I
dude,
know, I know. Okay, I take the back. I take the
you
back.
should eat more bacon, not
Yes.
less.
Okay. So eat more bacon and just scrap the rest. That's a good one. But what I'm trying to say here is that I prefer the increment, the steady pace, right? As opposed to just a straight sprint. And that's actually what I'm learning when I'm running. That's what I've learned on the fly, is that if I'm gonna go for long, I'm gonna keep a
Yeah.
steady pace. And then, you know, probably increase it a little bit and then lower it down a little bit because I know there's hills up there. Like, all right, I need to save my energy when I go up that hill. So let me just chill out now, take a little slow, and then up the hill, save my energy for that. So it's just being able to find that balance, right? Like sometimes when I know I go for short runs, like, you know what? Today I have extra energy. It's gonna be a short run. Let me just hit the gas guzzler a little bit harder. And I do that. I mean, it's not for the whole run, but it's for
Yeah.
like a, you know, period. And then I just let it all out and then move on to the next thing. So
Man, that's living in the moment.
oh no, exactly. And then and dude, sometimes when I go out, I'm like, oh, today I don't feel like running, dude. I just want to stay home and chill, you know. Um, it turns into some of my best runs. I just get in the zone,
Hmm.
and man, just you know, the run is high. Man, there's nothing like it.
Yeah.
Running high is real, and it's awesome when you get to the point. But just like happiness, it's not guaranteed. One and two, it's not meant to last forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not like you reach that level because you work so hard and you keep it. No, it's just there, and then you're back to wherever you were before. I
Just
think it's a
like the flow state.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it is the flow state.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I
Yeah.
was gonna
So
mention, I was gonna
oh
give an
yeah.
analogy, but I know you don't play a lot of games. But I could try. Um, it's like do you ever play like StarCraft, Diablo, or any of those kind of games?
Mm-mm.
Nah, man.
No.
Shoot. Do you play any like tabletop games?
Like board games?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. It's like, all right, I'm gonna give my best analogy that I can. All right. Using some nerd terms, so you know, it's like when you get a buff, right? Like you increase your critical strike or your
Okay.
power, your magic, and all that stuff,
Okay.
right? Like, but remember, it has just a chance of kicking in, right? You have no control over it. That's how I can describe that runner's high. You
Hmm.
do not know when it's gonna come. It's gonna come when you least expect it, when you least prepare for it, but it's gonna come.
Yeah.
You cannot
Yeah.
just invoke it and say, hey, like a method in code, hey, come now. No, 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 no. It's gonna come at random when it's ready. It's just like the Wart of Art book. Have you read that one?
I have
Stanley,
not. I need to read that one.
by Stanley Sperfield, the audiobook is awesome. It's like saying it's like invoking the muse.
Hmm.
It applies to code too, right? Sometimes we have the quarters block, but sometimes, man, we're in the zone. We're just kicking ass.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's the same concept of, hey, the muse is gonna come for those who are ready, not for those who just are, you know, hoping or wishing that it just comes out of the blue and guide me through. No, it comes for those who are ready, and I think that's how I can describe the runner's high as
Hmm.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
feeling, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, getting in flow playing a basketball game is the same thing, right? And
Yeah,
it really, when I notice that I'm there, is when it goes away. When I start thinking about it,
yeah,
it's gone. It's
yeah,
gone.
exactly. I know exactly. I know what you mean. Like, wait a minute, I used to run how fast and what? Like, oh crap, cool,
Yeah. Yeah.
gone now.
Yeah, I was listening to a podcast yesterday. It's a guy that I know. I was in this group with him for quite a while, and even after we were done involved with the group, we were doing weekly Skype calls for quite a while. And he's got this podcast with this other guy, and it's pretty cool. They just talk about, just kicking ass and productivity and, commitment and living a happy life. Happiness Simplified actually is the name of the podcast. And this episode, Kayvon, who is my friend, he was talking about how he had made a commitment to exercise for an entire year, every day for the 365 days. And his definition of exercise was just getting to a point of sweating, right? So,
Mm.
he was talking about how there is, the resistance of, oh man, I've got to put on my gym clothes and go to the gym and do all of this stuff. And that those are all barriers to making it happen. But when he defined it just breaking a sweat, right? He could do that, just, get down and do some push-ups and just, do something, right? Run around, the block, just to get himself breaking a sweat. And, so those days when he did go to the gym, then that was fine and good. And the days that he didn't feel like he really had it, it was just do enough to get to a sweat. And I thought, wow, that's pretty cool. That's a neat way of looking at it's a system, right? Systems, not goals. Just put your one foot in front of the other, and do today what you need to do today.
Exactly. And Dave, the hardest thing every single run that I have, the hardest thing always, without fail, is the first step.
Mm,
It's that first
yeah.
step.
No
Always.
momentum.
No moment, just like, my pedometer says go. And I'm like, just take the first step. 1, 2, and then by the third, it's all gone. It's like go. That's it. All done.
Yeah.
But it's always the first 2 steps that kill me. Always, without fail. No matter how good I feel, how bad I feel, it has always been those 2 steps. So, sometimes I am in the zone, like I like to go out running. Sometimes, most of the time, actually, I'm not. It's just, once again, just habit at this point. My body asks for it because I have gotten it used to that. It just needs it. Like I said, today it knows it's rest day, but tomorrow it knows that it's goal day. That's it. I'm putting my clothes on, like you said, the resistance, right? Like you were saying right now. But I don't feel it anymore. My mind is resistant, but my body's saying, dude, come on, man. Come on. It's like that, like that coach in whatever team. It's like, come on, guys, let's do this. And you're like, oh, really? I don't want to. It's the exact same thing. My mind is like being super lazy and putting 100 excuses or reasons not to go. But my body's like, nope. Come on.
I'm picturing a dog, right? It's got the leash. It's bringing it over to you. Come on, let's get out there.
Exactly. That's the same way my body is right now, because I have gotten used to it. Remember, it has been 2 years, and when you condition anything, especially something like the body, to do something, it will ask for it.
Yeah, we're creatures of habit too.
Yeah, your mind is gonna fight it because it's being the enemy in this case, adding resistance. But your body's saying, I don't care, dude. I want to go now. And that's how it is for me. That's why I have very little this resistance nowadays. But it wasn't like this, okay? It's not like, oh, let me just go and let me be like Jose and, oh my God, just go and run. No, it takes a time. It takes a while to build it. And I'm surprised that I have kept on it. But once again, I eliminated goals. I eliminated how long I go each run. In my mind, I have a route, and that's it. Like today, I'm gonna go around this area and then come back home. That's it. How far is it? I don't know. How long is it? How long is it gonna take me? I don't know. I just go for it. So that's the whole concept of being goalless. Just practice. Just practice for the sake of practice.
I like it.
Practice to the point where practice itself is enjoyable.
Mm. Yeah.
Don't work for trophies. Do not work for medals. do not work for recognition or placement. That's just the side effects of your practice.
Yeah. That's what they mean by life's a journey, not a destination, right? You gotta,
Exactly. That's
yeah,
the whole
yeah,
emphasis on, hey, you're gonna get there. But if you focus, if you obsess, like I was saying before, right, on that goal alone, you're just gonna get obsessed and you're not even gonna enjoy the journey, because once you get to the goal, that point, you're gonna find out how empty and shallow it may be, and that you missed the journey. That's where the real juice is at. The
yeah.
journey, the practice, the sweat, the tears. Like you were saying about your buddy, the sweat. Yeah, the sweat, the lack of water, your lips all chopped. That's where the real things are, man. When the sun is hitting your face, or when the rain is hitting your face, or when the snow is hitting your face, that's where the juice is at. Not the distance that I ran that day, not
Yeah.
how good I felt with endorphins afterwards. Because right now I can tell you that most of this running stuff, the part that I hated but I actually like enjoy the most is when I'm going up those hills.
Hmm. Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, what the hell? Why am I doing this to myself? But it's just a challenge to go up and see what I'm really made of, see what my endurance is, see how much I can push myself and how much I can endure. Because it's not just physical, but it's also mental,
Yeah, that's where
right?
that's where life happens, right? You're
Mhm.
living in the uncertainty of, is this going to turn out the way I want it to? And that's that, there was an episode of The Simpsons, a long time ago, and it really stuck with me that Marge is going to cheat, right?
Oh
She's
yeah.
bowling with this guy, right? And when the night that they're supposed to seal the deal and they're meeting up and he's in his room looking in the mirror, ready for the thing goes, he
Mhm.
says, better than the memory, better than the deed itself, the moment of anticipation. And
Yep,
I think,
exactly.
but that's it, right? You have something in your mind, you don't know what's going to happen. Jurassic Park, that T-Rex doesn't want to be fed, he wants to hunt, right? That's where it is. That's where you live. It's not a destination, right? You can picture being at the marathon event with your feet propped up, having done the thing with a beer in your hand, right? And that's a
Yeah.
rewarding, nice time too, right?
Yeah.
Not that I
It
know, I've
is.
never done that, but um,
Uh,
and nor
yeah.
will I, right? Running just to run is not something I see in the cards for. Well, I'm not going to say never will. I don't see it happening.
It's you know what? Neither did I. Even though I enjoyed running when I was a kid, just for running for the sake of it. Once again, so it just comes a little more natural, and understand some people are get a little bit turned off and bored. I get that. I guess I don't understand it because I'm not like that, and that's okay. But I never knew that or never thought that I could once again get this point where I am today, at least physically, right? I think I'm more physically fit now than I ever was in my 20s,
Hmm.
to be honest with you, by far.
Yeah.
So I'm not bragging here. I'm not saying, oh my God. No, I'm just saying, hey, I just took something and I ran, excuse me for the pun, I ran with it. Um, so that's all I did really. I did nothing special, I think. I just made a habit and proved to myself that it can work. And if it can work for this, it can work for any part of your life. You can change
Yeah.
it if you do deliberate practice and really don't have any goal in mind. Because once you have the goal can become, like I said, an obsession, especially for us software developers. It can become quickly an obsession instead of enjoying the journey there,
Yeah.
uh, where the juice is. It really, really is. But
The experience, not the result. That is
yeah,
beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah. And
I'm
that
not.
yeah, I was 2 years ago, right, in the
Mhm.
best physical condition of my life, and I have deteriorated since then. And
Mhm.
but I know what you mean there, and um,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a great feeling, man. You can't describe it to someone who hasn't experienced it or who has not been there. Or I don't know how to describe it. Like I said, I really don't. Um, All I know is that I like it, and I don't want to lose it. If I lose anything else, I don't want to lose this because it has taken me so long to build it, and not just build it. That's the easy part. Maintain it,
Yeah.
keep it. That's the hard part. I mean, lately has been a struggle because I've been a little sick and a little bit stressed because of personal and professional events, and it's been really hard, really tough. But it has also challenged me to say, hey, if you can do this when things are not going well, then you can do it any other time,
Yeah.
And I have proved that to myself before too, with weather, right? Because what's one of the first things that happened today is what? Rainy. Nah, I'll skip the gym today. It looks kind of crappy outside. I'm just gonna stay and chill at home.
Yeah.
I'll pick it up tomorrow. No worry. Tomorrow I'm gonna go twice as fast, twice as hard. Tomorrow comes, something happens, you don't go. Next day comes, something happens, you don't go. Probably you go to the next one, maybe, and you forget about your commitment and before. So I know myself in that regard. So that's why I said no. I'm gonna go every other day, regardless of the weather, and I have. That's what I was saying before. I felt the heat on my face. I have felt the summer heat. I have felt the chilly weather from the autumn, the leaves falling. I have felt the winter, and I have felt this piercing cold wind.
Yeah.
I have felt it snow, and I have felt the allergies of spring. I felt them all. I felt the rains, the warm rains, the cold rains.
Yeah.
I felt them all. And you know what? One of the things that I found out is I love running in the rain, dude. It's just all soaking and wet, and just the rain hitting your face, and for no reason at all, other than just enjoying that moment, enjoying it, and feeling it. Not because, oh my God, I need to get home. I'm wet now. No, 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 no. Just enjoy it. Feeling the rain, feeling the cars go by, hearing the cars go by. The slush, the cars noise make. I don't know how to call that. Or just stepping into a puddle of a mistake. And you're like, oh, well, I stepped into a puddle. Big deal. Let's move on. Now your shoes are wet, making the squeaky noise like SpongeBob. And it's just a feeling, kind of like, once again, being in the moment, enjoying the moment. And that's where it comes from. You are not conquering your mind, but you're not paying attention to your mind. You're just like enjoying the moment. So you're soothing your kind of your being, your soul,
Yeah. Being present
being
is,
present,
yeah.
and helping your body too, feeling good, right? Because that's also gonna calm your mind that is always busy, always thinking, always chattering, all this good stuff, right? And saying, no, I had a good time. That does counts the theme of my blog and the theme of where I want to go with it. Um, and I have achieved that through running. Really, I have. What I'm trying to say is here, find what you believe is going to help you. If you believe basketball is going to help you get there, then do it. Do that. If you believe lifting weights, like for example, John does it, go for it, dude. I mean, whatever works for you, you have to know
Heck
what
yeah.
works for you.
Heck yeah.
Um, um, so
That's absolutely
basically,
right.
yeah, whatever works for you, just make sure you do it. And you do it continuously as a habit, not as a goal, not as a, oh my God, I got to do it because I'm going to get healthy. That's just the nice benefits of staying, I guess, in shape.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really, a question of this becoming who I am, whatever this is. Right. And, yeah, I mean, lifting weights is part of that. More than that, it's what I eat, is that's the thing that controls, controls more than anything, the condition of how I feel. And so, that's the thing that is something, and during that time when I was absolutely religious about what I would eat,
Mhm.
it was a source of identity, right? It was, that shit ain't food. It was kind of my rallying cry, around stuff, and it felt good to, be at the company event with the donuts and not touching it.
Mhm. Okay. Notice that all this time that I've been talking about running and all the good stuff, I did not mention anything about dieting.
Mm.
I am very awful at dieting, at eating properly. The only thing I've done better or improved on is that I don't eat as much, like portions wise.
Mm.
But my eating habits, man, they have gone really from not good to less than good, especially since I moved to the southeast.
No, yeah, I love
Um,
it.
all the barbecue, all the local breweries, dude, it's hard to say no to some of this great food and great beer that they have around the area. It's just like, why am I gonna resist?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. Well, yeah, you got to
Um,
live. Yeah, you got to
yeah.
live, and
So
sharing that experience is a big part of living. And that's
right.
why I said that, I'm going back to the hardcore diet lifestyle for 30 days. And after that, then I will remember what it's like to live this way.
Yeah.
And I will decide then what the next 30 days holds, or the next week, the day by day after
Yeah.
that, right? But this at least gives me the a move in a direction of give this other lifestyle a chance too, because I mean, there's a lot to be said for having pizza with my kids, and
Yeah.
that is going to be a part of my life, just not for this period.
Yeah, no, like I said, also when you do more workouts, whatever that may be, right? Going to the gym or going to play some sort of sport, your body, at least for me, asks me for something different.
Yeah, yeah,
Or than the greasy burger or that kind of like fast food, right? Like, no, no, today, dude, how about we have a milkshake or something slightly different.
yeah, yeah.
That's what happens when I run in the mornings, right? Before in the mornings, my typical breakfast used to be coffee and donuts or one of those glazed honey buns from the, so you know which ones I'm talking about. Nothing healthy, right? That used to be my coffee every morning, uh, about 10 years ago or so, right? Now it's
Yeah,
totally different. When I go running, I don't want any of that. My body, my mouth, it craves something else, something totally different, which usually some sort of parfait yogurt or a mix of yogurt and some granola in it. Sometimes some milkshake or some instant oatmeal. It doesn't crave that donut like you were saying, right? About the donuts in the office. Like I see donuts, I'm like, the thing is, I don't resist them. That's a trick. I don't resist them. If I'm in the mood to have half a donut, I'll have it and move on. Rather than
mhm,
me resisting it, having it in my mind for like the next 2 hours, I just grab a little piece, satisfy the craving, and move on.
yeah, yeah. I think that
So,
makes sense, right? You live your life, and that's it's a question of planning for who you are, right? It's
mhm,
it's a system, and if your choice is that I do not eat donuts, and I think that's probably a pretty good approach too. I had this friend that he basically decided that if you put brownies in front of him, he was going to go to town and he was going to enjoy that, and that was his thing, right? But that was it, right? If he would allow himself to indulge in brownies that way, then no other sweets, right? And I thought, well, that's an interesting approach to it, right?
mhm,
And
yeah,
there's something there, right, to land on that.
mhm,
This is my, and when I think about it, right, if I go to a birthday party with my kids and there's cake and ice cream, I can take or leave cake. I don't care, right? The ice cream is an experience. That's something that I really enjoy, right?
mhm.
And so I mean that's the thing, right? If you're going to indulge in something, make it worth it.
Exactly. Because sometimes it's just the resistant part that kicks our asses more than the actual taking part of the whatever that may be. Like I said, in this case, ice cream or donut, right? Like I see
Mhm.
all my coworkers like, oh my god, I want a donut, but I can't eat it because XYZ. I'm like, dude, you know what? I'll do you a favor. I'll eat the piece of donut for you then. Done. Let's
Yeah,
move on.
yeah.
And I mean, I'm not saying that I do it every day. Sometimes like, I'm not in the mood. It's just like anything else, right? For example, a beer. When I'm in the mood for a drink a beer, I'm in the freaking mood to drink a beer and I'll drink. But I can have my fridge full stock of beer. You can give me a full stock, a fridge full stock full of beer. And if I'm not in the mood, I'm not in the mood.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna get water instead because I'm not in the mood. Simple as that. I don't fight it anymore. Whatever I'm craving, I'll have it, and that's it. And then the craving will be satisfied. I will not be fighting the resistance inside my head, and I'll be focusing and concentrating on something else, like your friend, indulging on those brownies. Why the heck not?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
again, once there's a limit, it doesn't become an obsession and hence an addiction.
Yeah.
That's where you have to be really careful, really be able to know yourself in that regard.
Everything has a cost and a benefit, right? And
Everything does.
if you're thinking in terms of, is this worth it to me,
Mhm.
then beautiful, right? You're in a great place. That's what we often don't, right? I have many times found myself stuffing my face with some sweet something, and it's like, yeah, I don't even like this that much.
Yeah,
It's certainly not worth. It's not worth what I'm doing here. I would be much better served to to go get some ice cream
right.
than that. But
Yeah. And once again, this circles back to the exercise, right? Like, for example, if I overindulge in anything and tomorrow's my day to run, I'm going to feel it. Like, next day, I'm going to feel it, especially because I have gastritis. If
mm,
I eat something that is not right, or I overeat something that is not, I'm not supposed to overeat, it's my body's going to remind me tomorrow
oh
when I'm
yeah,
out there. It's going to say, dude, now you're paying the price.
yeah,
Now it's payback.
yeah,
So it's just those things, right, that keep me in check. That if I eat something and I was like, crap, tomorrow's my day to run. If I know if I eat too much of this, I'm gonna feel that pain during the middle of the run, and it's usually not a good experience. So I just keep myself in check that way.
yeah, yeah. In my 20s, I would play basketball all day, right? I mean, it
Nice.
was it was not a big deal at all. And now, the Saturday morning adult basketball at the rec center by my house is basically from 7 to 9.
Mhm.
Is the time that is blocked out for adult men to play basketball. And if I play that entire block, if I'm still there at 9 o'clock, I hurt all week, right? I'm not
Ouch.
fully recovered the following Saturday, right?
Yeah.
And man, yesterday this guy put his shoulder right in my chest too, and it's
Ah,
that basketball is an injury waiting to happen all the time too. But that's beside the point. But just the soreness and the wear and tear on my body at 41 years of age, right? It's it takes its toll, and it takes a long time to recover when I'm playing intensely, and that's how I play. If but yeah, if 2 hours is too much.
yeah. No, I agree. I mean, that's why I do this every other day, like I said, right? Because I know myself, like, man, I gotta keep it, within the tight loop. Otherwise, I can get obsessive. And then once again, things just don't usually end up well. So it's the same thing. It's just knowing your limits, knowing what your body can and cannot do. And you have to figure out on your own. Nobody can really tell you. There is no roadmap, right? There's no instructions. Like I think that's another thing that I've been thinking about. Like a lot of us software developers, we like to have like a plan, like step A, step B, step so on and so forth, like some sort of like steps to get to that point, from point A to point Z, right?
Yeah, I'm picturing Gantt charts.
Yeah, yeah, something like that. And the thing is, there is none of that. So there is none of that. I have been
Mhm.
trying to look for that myself for many years, but the thing is, no, there's nobody knows that. Like people can try to share their experience with what they have tried, but what they try does not necessarily mean it will work for you.
Mhm.
That's a real deal here.
Yep.
It's just so many variables. Um, and one of the thing is you have to know your body. You have to know your limits. You do. If you like today, you say 2 hours is more than enough for you to play basketball, then so be it. That's it.
Yep.
That's your limit. Maybe one and a half. Go hardcore 1.5 instead of 2 full hours and say, Dave, not today, man. Today we're gonna go 1.5 hours.
Yeah,
I know you want
that's
to do
that's
two.
really what I do, right? If
Yeah,
it comes down to the point where, there's only 10 guys left in the gym, and if I leave, there's not going to be enough for a full game, then that's the only time that I stick around longer than what I want. And I pay the price when I do that. But yeah,
exactly.
that's it. Yeah.
No, no, exactly. And I told you, I think I'm paying that price right now too. Lately, I have not been doing a lot of distance runs, even on the weekends when I do my distance runs, because I did my half marathon, right? Which I didn't even plan to do. And right now my body's feeling it still. I think it's in the stage of recovery, and it hurts. Like when I would go running, I feel sore and tired. My knees, everything just hurts. But I know that I'm closer and I'm gotten better to improve the body to and make sure that next time that some other challenge like that comes up, it's ready for it. But as you already know, it ain't what it used to be.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, at the end of the day, that's what it is. We took our youth for granted. I know I did. Playing video games all the time at home. That was my 20s basically. So no shame. Have
Yeah,
fun.
yeah. My 20s was lots of beer and trying to meet women. That was my singular focus, right?
uh,
And lots of watching sports. That's the thing that I sunk so much time into that in retrospect, it wasn't worth the investment that I put into it, you know.
hey man, live and learn, right? At least you're not still doing it right now.
I enjoyed it though, you know, I enjoyed it. So maybe it was worth it. Maybe it was.
Yeah.
It's not, you know, I don't enjoy it like I used to, you know. I can watch a game that's, you know, but watching game after game after game,
Yeah.
that doesn't appeal to me anymore.
Yeah. Same here. I but like today there was a soccer game on TV, and I was like, I watched for like 5 minutes, and I was like, done, move on,
Yeah.
and then that's it. And before I used to watch like games like almost like the whole day, and I would just be glued there, even if I was bored or my mind, I would still be like, yeah, yeah, let's. But I was glued to the freaking.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now it's like, now something else. Now it's just browsing YouTube for different stuff, keeping
Yeah.
myself entertained on the way.
Man, I am bonkers on YouTube these days. Oh, I told you that already. I am so into YouTube. I love the content that people are creating there.
I do too, but that's when it becomes an issue, like I said, of being, passionate, let's say, about topic or TV show, let's say, or whatnot, and then becomes, a little bit of obsession.
Yeah.
Um, like I said, it's that striking that nice balance. As we agreed the previous time we talked, you were into what? History and philosophy?
Yeah, yeah, it's
Yeah.
social stuff, right? You know, the yeah,
Yeah, oh, there's plenty of documentaries and plenty of content that people pour out there, and it's just like phenomenal. Some of the stuff, like the animations and everything put together so well. It's just like, wow, we have come a long way from the History Channel about 20 years ago.
yeah, no kidding, no kidding.
Yeah, it's just
And it's so accessible to people to just become creators. It's great.
yeah, ain't no commercials, none of that junk. This is like straight pipelining content.
Yeah,
You're
man.
done with that content, there's the next one, and the next one, and the next one. You're like, oh crap, I've been here sitting on my couch for the past 2 hours, man. What the hell?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
just for the record, that's what I've done this weekend because I felt like I told you a little sick. So yesterday and today, a couch potato.
Hmm.
Um, and I'm not ashamed. Once again, it's one of those things, right? Of indulging yourself. I don't do this every weekend. I rarely do this, but when I do it, man, I go all out.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
yeah, I don't care. I know some people with productivity tips. Don't sit in your couch, man. Go out there, do something. Put out some content. Work on your plan, and you know, I get it, but
sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Sometimes you got needs, you know.
sometimes
Yeah. My
there's
kids are out of school now, you know, and that's basically what they wanted to do yesterday was just watch Harry Potter movies.
all
And
day,
what's that?
all day.
Pretty much, yeah.
Nice.
Most of the day, right? And my mother-in-law's dog is at the house, so it's just kind of play with the dog and just hang out, and that's and that's yeah, I don't want them doing that every day all summer,
Right.
but
Yeah, yeah.
that
No, no, I agree. Also, my boys, the all day yesterday, well, actually most of the day yesterday and today, they were playing computer games. And I was, like I said, on my couch watching some YouTube content, history, philosophy, Game of Thrones stuff, theories. I mean,
mm,
sometimes I get sucked into those contents, like, huh, all right, cool. What approach you both, And I was okay with that. They were
yeah.
okay. I'm okay. I made them dinner, and they were fine. And we like to call them those days free for all, FFA, free for all, basically we can do whatever the heck we want as long as it's not something, hurtful or bad, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's like we are all in the same room, but yet we're not in each other's faces. If you want to play a video game, there's the video game. There's a Wii U that finally got fixed. There's the computers. You guys can go and watch Netflix, watch your shows, play some games, whatever you want. That's what we call it, free for all. So we can basically do whatever the heck we want without being each other's faces. So and they enjoy that. I enjoy that. So it's just a matter of finding once again what works for you and your family. Like you were saying, your kids enjoy watching all day Harry Potter movies. My boys can barely stand a 20, 30-minute show nowadays. So it's just what works for you guys, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, for example, we binge watch what is it called? A show Netflix called All Hail King Julian.
Oh yeah, my kids love that one.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, that show's so addicted, man.
It's funny.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I hate the puking all the time stuff though.
The
That's
what?
just so stupid. All of the vomit, right?
It can get a little excessive, but I just, if you pass over that little kind of nonsense, it becomes a really enjoyable show. I
It
guess.
is. I agree.
Yeah, it's just, and sometimes like, wait a minute, some of this stuff's not for kids, man. It's just like goes over their heads. I'm like, wait a minute, dude. I think, yeah. But then you watch all the shows that we watch when we were kids, and like, wait a minute, why did my parents let me watch this? I should
Yeah.
not be allowed to watch this. Same thing. So we can, as a family, watch certain shows together and enjoy them. But we all have different tastes. Now as they're getting bigger, as I'm sure your kids are bigger now, they all have different tastes. They all have like different things. And as much as I would like them to enjoy what I enjoy, it's not.
That's a losing battle. Yeah.
That's a losing battle, and I have to respect that, and it's okay.
Mhm.
So as long as you enjoy yourselves without harming yourself, I suppose,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
fine. It's fine with me. So, that's okay. I mean, what else do you plan for this weekend?
Well, I don't think it's going to happen. We were thinking of going to the swimming pool, but it's not as hot as as is really ideal for the pool. So I don't think we're going to do that. I don't. We might go kick a soccer ball around or something.
Oh man, come over here to Southeast, man. There's no hot, there's no heat, but humidity will kick your ass till tomorrow.
Yeah.
What really counts here is the humidity, man. It's
Yeah.
quite intense.
Yeah. That is something we do not have here. That is, notably very different in the Denver area, is that it's very dry. And so, even when it gets really hot, it doesn't feel as hot, and even when it gets really cold, it doesn't feel as cold. And it's very mild for that reason.
Yeah. Like, I already told you when we're looking to move to another area in the country.
Oh, really?
Denver area was one of those sections, what was it? Houston, around that Texas area, Austin, Sacramento, where was the other one? Montana, Seattle, the area, Portland, anywhere really where there was like a high tech hub.
Yeah.
Considering thus where we are today. In Denver, Colorado, around the area was pretty high on the list there, but we were tired of snow and we kick it to the corner. Yeah. But we never been there. There's a thing, right? We never been there. Who knows? Maybe we have been there. Maybe it was like, part to reconsider. Say, hey, yeah, why don't we give this a shot instead?
Well, it's great. There's not as much snow as you think. I mean, it's really, coming from New York, Denver is a mild, paradise, right? And man, we so much sun. It's
Really?
the snow is not much. So, but yeah, Jamie Dixon said he was going to move to Denver.
Really?
I need to check in with him, see what's the latest.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be good. I mean, right now, as we spoke, I think this became a good like compromise for us as we can drive back north. And actually, we're gonna be driving back up north in a few weeks. Um, and we can strike a good compromise. Like, hey, we can still get home, well, back to the old home, pretty quick if we have to. So that we don't have to, take a plane or anything like that. But for me, Dave, I'm an adventurer.
Hmm.
I um I have seen many. I have never been like in a certain area for long periods of time, and I'm gonna continue adventuring wherever I'm. My I don't know. My curiosity takes me. So who knows? Maybe just visiting around the area or different areas. But today, yeah, I'm here today, and I'm happy to be where I am today. But if you tell me, is this where I'm gonna end up? No way.
Yeah.
There's more path to walk, and it doesn't end here. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I've not been a big adventurer. When I decided that I did want to be an adventurer, then I got married, and that was kind of the end of that idea.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's
Well, I mean, it's not easy with the whole family doing an adventure. It's totally different ball game.
mhm.
And I'm glad that my family is in the ball with me on that. That both both my kids and my wife, we're all big adventurers, and that we have we get kicked out of that. We have experienced some crazy things, like one of the things was that eating on the street one time when we were back home because we couldn't find a restaurant or whatever, and we didn't care for that. And it was too expensive, whatever it was. But we were eating the curve of the
Cool.
corner. No freaking shame at all. Like, guys, we're hungry, right? Let's eat something and let's do it. And that's what we did. So, like, I was telling you, if we can do this, we can eat some street food in a corner in some city we don't know, man, the world is an oyster.
Mhm.
Seriously.
Yeah, you
It's
don't
like,
forget that.
you don't forget that, and you can do anything anywhere. I mean,
Yeah,
it's just adventures like that. And they remember that. That's a funny thing. They remember those adventures. Like, hey, Dad, remember when we were like, well, yeah, you're right. And I think they have the spirit. They both share. Both my kids share the spirit of adventure and curiosity and learning to see what's out there. And I think that's where we're gonna have that in common. And we don't require the luxury or the comfortability or anything like that. We just want to see stuff, man. Like we just want to see where the path goes and see what's around the corner and see what we can do and what animal we can see or what vista we can enjoy. And that's once
cool.
again, to me, that's where the real magic of life happens, the real meat, the real juice, just those experiences just
There you go.
take place, man. It's just awesome. So that's what I'm saying, man. Maybe one day, who knows, like Denver might be in the books, and you can show off your how great your weather is and how crappy my weather is.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. One more question: are you still going to KCDC or are you a speaker? I forget.
Yeah, I'm a speaker at KCDC, and I will be there. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Because now as the dust settles on my end from uh, multiple angles, looks like I can start thinking about that.
Yeah, yeah. Sean's in as a speaker too, and yeah, so well, the two of us will certainly be there,
Mhm.
and lots of other awesome folks. Lots of guests from Developer on Fire are going to be there. So
Mhm.
yeah, it'll be a good place to be.
Question: are you gonna do a on spot recording or just hanging out?
I will do some recording. I know that I've talked to Matthew Renzi,
Mhm.
certainly, that we're going to do a face-to-face recording, and yeah, I'll bring some recording equipment. And what form it's going to take, I'm not completely sure. Whether I'm doing long form episodes there, I will with Matthew, but beyond that, I might do something like I did with the Denver Visual Studio 2017 launch thing, where it's just a few minutes with different folks. I don't know, yet to be determined. But yeah, I will be recording something there.
Okay, cool. No, just for the viewers watching this recording that may be interested.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm really intrigued of going. Once again, this is where my sense of adventure comes in. Like I never been there. I don't know how I'm gonna be there, but I want to be there. That's all I can say. And actually, that's how we got here to where we are today. Like I've never been there. I don't know anyone there, but we're gonna get there.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
it's just once again the part of my adventurous piece of me. I can't explain it. It's just there. Like I'm curious. Like I want to go. I'll see and check it out.
Yeah. You
See,
always say yes when somebody says, let's do something.
yeah, exactly. Like let's see if like I told my coworkers, like, how are you gonna get there? Like who's gonna pay for it? Like, well, my company. It's like, wait, what do you mean? The work's gonna pay for it? Like, no. my company is gonna sponsor me.
Mhm.
They don't get it. They're like, what do you mean your company? Like, yes, my company, my brand is gonna take me there,
I like it.
and it's gonna have a great time. But they don't get it, once again, because they're still, like we were talking earlier, right? Stuck in another mindset. Like,
Yeah.
I don't go to a conference unless the work sends me there. I'm like, why?
There are great experiences to have at conferences, and I got to
That's
go to more of them. I've been way too lackadaisical about it. I'm still balanced, right? I'm not going to do too much travel, but I gotta make it some events.
yeah. Um, yeah. So I guess we'll talk about the details. For example, when are you guys gonna be there? So I can also plan accordingly at my end, so
Yeah,
that we can make the best out of it.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, my
and
family's going to come too, at least for some
oh, really?
portion. My parents live in Omaha, which is,
Oh,
I think, about a 3 hour drive from Kansas City. It might be less than that. So yeah, we're gonna make it a trip and go out
hmm.
to Omaha first, and then to Kansas City from there. And so whether I'm gonna go to Kansas City for the start of the conference and they might come, for the weekend or something, or I don't know, yet to be determined what that's going to look like. But there's going to be some presence of the family in some capacity.
Okay. Are you gonna drive there or plane?
Yeah, gonna drive. Gonna
Oh,
drive.
really? How far
Yeah.
is it from Denver?
I haven't ever driven directly to Kansas City. Omaha is an 8 hour drive. I
Hmm.
think Kansas City is probably about the same.
Oh,
Omaha is right on the Nebraska-Iowa border, and
oh,
then Kansas City is right on the Kansas and Missouri border. So
okay.
it's pretty comparable kind of a drive. One is I-80 and one's I-70.
Okay.
But yeah, I think I'm going to drive out to Omaha and probably direct back from Kansas City.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not that familiar with that area. So for me, I know it's not a drive at all. It's like 11 hours or something insane.
Mm.
I'm not willing to do that. I'm done driving those crazy uh, hours. Um,
It's not so
yeah.
bad with some podcasts.
What's up?
It's not so bad when you got some podcast episodes to listen
No,
to.
no, no, it's not. But I already accumulated my miles last year
Yeah,
in the years before when trying to move here. I'm like, now I told the wife, like, listen, I'm not driving that far.
yeah, yeah,
It's just killer. And you know what? I'd rather spend extra money for a plane ticket of a couple hours than just kill myself 8, 9 hours and kill the car too.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
but one of my coworkers was telling me that to not use my car. She's like, just get a rental, man.
Yeah,
And that's why you don't kill your car. And if you're thinking about maintenance and all that stuff, then who cares? It's a rental. You just pay the rental and, you know,
yeah.
that's
There's a
it.
case to be made for that. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So it was just putting that on the table instead of actually. I haven't I haven't measured the distance between here and there. I know it's not close. So that would maybe quite a drive that I don't know if I want to take on over myself.
yeah,
Um, I don't know. I'm still up in the air with that. But I'm hoping to get there one way or another.
yeah. Well, when you're
So,
talking about just one person, then a plane ticket's not such a big deal. It's
well, yeah, you have your family going with or meeting you there, then yeah, it's totally not a brainer,
yeah,
to take the drive.
yeah,
Um, but
yeah,
it's yeah, it's I don't know, but what I'm trying to say is that I would love to go for the sense of adventure again. More than anything, I'm not saying I don't want to meet you guys or hang out like that. Please don't take it the wrong way. It's just um, kind of breaking away from um, not being in conferences. Like I said, the last one that I went to, All Things Open, was my first big conference that I've gone to. Other ones have been like dev days for Microsoft buildings when they have like a 1 day kind of like
yeah, yeah,
event stuff. But I've never really been to an actual conference like All Things Open or the one you're talking about. So it's a unique experience, that's for sure, and I like it.
yeah, yeah,
Child,
yeah.
I'll become a conference groupie like some people have.
Yeah,
I can afford it anyways. So yeah. All right, Dave. I'm gonna call it off. I'm getting hungry.
yeah. I hear you.
Uh,
Me too. And I got to
yeah,
go play with the kids.
yeah. Go ahead. I'm gonna get beat up by my kids. It's two boys. There's nothing I can do. If I
That's
start beating one up, the other one is gonna come behind me and just and they're growing. I'm not particular a tall guy either, so they just gang up on me and say, "Hey, don't do it to my brother," and move on. That's the joy of having two boys.
So fun. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, man. Um, have a good weekend
All
and
right. You too.
enjoy it. Thank you. All right, sir.
All
Signing
right.
off.
See you soon.